Now, there have been three different sets of allegations that have dominated the media. I think it's important to note that two of those sets of allegations had so little corroboration that even the New York Times, which is no conservative outlet, refused to report on them because they could find no basis for them. And it was striking in this entire hearing that not a single Democrat in this committee asked about two sets of those allegations. Not a single Democrat. I don't know if they were just too embarrassed. Mr. Avenatti's allegations were so scandalous that the ranking member omitted those scandalous accusations from her statement.
The candid words of Senator Ted Cruz during the disgraceful Kavanaugh hearings. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is America First on the Salem Radio Network. He clerked for Chief Justice William Rehnquist and ended up being the youngest and longest-serving Solicitor General in Texas history. And now he has a new book. I can't believe how well-timed it is, and I'm proud to have it be published by my publisher, Regnery. It's called One Vote Away: How a Single Supreme Court Seat Can Change History. Welcome to America First, Senator Cruz. The Kavanaugh hearings, I think, were catalytic for many Americans. Just as with the Clarence Thomas hearings, individuals like Andrew Breitbart were triggered in a good way to become conservatives, to wake up to the dirty tricks of the left. We saw it happen again with the Kavanaugh hearings. You are right there in the thick of it. We're going to talk about your book, but let me ask you, what is your expectation on October 12th? How will they treat Judge Comey Barrett?
Well, unfortunately, I expect them to do everything they can to turn the hearing into a political circus, to replicate some of the disgraceful tactics that they employed against Justice Kavanaugh. The Democrats have a long history of doing this. It really, in the modern age, started with the confirmation hearing for Robert Bork when Ronald Reagan nominated him to the Supreme Court. And the Senate Democrats, led by Joe Biden, led by Ted Kennedy, engaged in a brutal, dishonest, personal smear. It featured Ted Kennedy bellowing to the nation, "In Robert Bork's America," with this parade of horribles that was deeply deceptive. The performance was so bad that Judge Bork's name became a verb.
Yes.
And Borking a judge now is engaging in personal attacks, slanders, smears based on dishonesty. We've seen Clarence Thomas subjected to it in a truly horrific way. Justice Thomas referred to it at the time as a high-tech lynching, and he was right. And once again, Joe Biden was right there as one of the major instigators. Sam Alito, they did it to Sam Alito as well. You may remember Justice Alito's wife reduced to tears because of their slanderous lies. And then we saw it with Justice Kavanaugh. It's a pattern. By the way, Sebastian, conservatives don't do this to the left. It's never happened to a liberal justice. We actually respect decency and decorum and don't play the same game. But we're seeing the beginnings of this with Judge Barrett. We've already seen in the first few days, we've seen Democratic operatives begin targeting her young children, attacking her young children, which is truly despicable, and kids should be completely off bounds. And we saw on Judge Barrett's first confirmation to the Court of Appeals, we saw multiple Democrats attacking her for her faith, attacking her because she's Catholic. And Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, asked her if she was an Orthodox Catholic, which I'm not sure what the modifier meant.
No.
She's not a member of the Greek or Russian Orthodox Church, but I think by Orthodox, whatever it was bad, and he was in real condemnation of it. And then Senator Dianne Feinstein, rather infamously, said in her confirmation hearing, "The dogma lives loudly in this one." And clearly implying that people of faith, whether Catholics or evangelicals or Orthodox Jews or anyone for whom faith is a meaningful component of their life, apparently in their worldview, are ineligible to serve as judges or in federal office.
No, disgraceful. We're talking to Senator Ted Cruz. Follow him, Send Ted Cruz, right now. Incredibly timely book with the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's one vote away, how a single Supreme Court seat can change history. You go through, you have a very fascinating method. You've got 8 chapters. You use key Supreme Court cases to talk about specific issues such as abortion, gun rights, religious liberty, and free speech. Let's zoom out a little bit, Senator Cruz. For most people, I believe, in America, the Supreme Court is this veiled, abstruse institution that they think really doesn't affect their lives. How wrong is that image?
Well, I think it's very wrong, and that a lot of what my book seeks to do is to make it real and personal and bring people behind the curtain, bring people inside to understand what happens at the court, who the justices are, and how their decisions affect your lives. So every one of the chapters, as you know, focuses on a different constitutional liberty. And what I do is tell the inside story. So before I was in the Senate, I was a Supreme Court litigator. My career, I made a living arguing in front of the Supreme Court. And I started my career as a law clerk at the Supreme Court for Chief Justice Rehnquist. And so each chapter, I tell war stories from inside the biggest landmark cases on free speech, on religious liberty, on the Second Amendment, to help people understand really what was going on. And what is striking is for constitutional right after constitutional right, the landmark decisions are almost all 5-4, meaning we are one vote away, one justice away from losing our rights of speech or religious liberty or the right to keep and bear arms. And that's really what this book is designed to do, is help people understand the sometimes the mystery that is the Supreme Court. It's also, you don't have to be a lawyer to enjoy this book. This is designed to make complicated issues understandable, interesting, fun, and help you really get a good understanding of what's at stake.
No, as you know, a 3-time book publisher with Regnery, their books are for the widest audience possible, and you have succeeded with this one. Ted Cruz, one vote away. Get it right now. Let's spend the last few minutes on what happened on Capitol Hill less than 24 hours ago. This is the former director of the FBI and Senator Cruz. Play cut 10.
Mr. Comey, let's go directly to lies. The Inspector General report concluded that Mr. Klein Smith, an attorney who worked for you in the FBI, deliberately altered an email. He had emailed the CIA to ask if Carter Page was a source. The CIA came back and said, yes, he was a source. And Mr. Klein Smith, your lawyer, altered that email to add the words, not a source, to make the email say precisely the opposite of what the CIA said. And that fraudulent document was then used as a basis for a fraudulent submission to the FISA court. You believe that is honest and competent, Mr. Comey?
I don't believe you've offered an accurate summary of Horowitz's findings.
This nation's media is obsessed with Watergate. Senator Cruz, in the last minute and a half we have, how would you describe the intelligence operation against the Trump campaign and Trump administration?
Biased, political, deeply dishonest, a partisan targeting, and it truly is stunning. And actually, right after that exchange, when Comey denied it, I pulled out the Horowitz Inspector General report that was prepared and read to him from the damn report. I mean, he was just happily denying reality. But one of the worst legacies of the Obama-Biden administration is they deeply politicized the Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the entire intelligence apparatus, and weaponized it, used it to attack their enemies. It is dangerous, it is wrong, it is dishonest, it is criminal, and those who abused the process and broke the law, they need to be held accountable, they need to be prosecuted, they need to go to jail.
You heard it here from the former Solicitor General of Texas, proudly representing the great state of Texas. Follow him right now, Ted Cruz. The book is One Vote Away: How a Single Supreme Court Seat Can Change History. Thank you, Senator Cruz, for everything you do to keep the flames of liberty lit.